Have you ever wondered how a single idea, a single book, can change the world for the worse? I mean, really change it? Well, today we're going to talk about a book written over 500 years ago that became a terrifying blueprint for persecution. We're breaking down the Malleus Maleficarum, a text that didn't just talk about a world of witches, it helped create one. Right off the bat, you need to get a sense of this book's reputation. This isn't some dusty, forgotten text. As our source material puts it, this is the most notorious book on witchcraft from its time. Its influence was absolutely massive and, as we're about to see, devastatingly destructive. And just think about that name for a second, the Hammer of Witches. I mean, that doesn't exactly sound like a gentle philosophical debate, does it? The word Malleus, or hammer, was a term used for people who would literally smash heretics. This book was presenting itself as a weapon, plain and simple, designed to crush what it saw as a threat. So who exactly forged this weapon? You can't really understand the Malleus without first understanding the men who wrote it, because it was their unique and kind of strange combination of personalities that gave this thing so much power. The book is officially credited to two guys, two Dominican friars, and they were like night and day. On one hand, you have Henricus and Sitoris. He's the passionate, on-the-ground, zealous inquisitor. And then you have Jacobus Springer, a respected academic, a professor of theology. So you've got this combination of street-level zeal and academic authority, which gave the book a really powerful one-two punch. But let's be real clear here. Most scholars agree that Instatoris was the real engine behind this whole thing. He was an itinerant inquisitor, meaning he was constantly on the move, town to town. The source describes him as having this incredibly strong, almost abrasive personality. He apparently even told off the Holy Roman Emperor in a sermon one time. He personally claimed to have condemned hundreds of women, and you can just feel his personal experiences and his, ferocious energy jumping off the pages of this book. Okay. So this brings us to the absolute core of what made the Malleus so revolutionary. It wasn't just a rehash of old superstitions. No, it introduced a brand new and absolutely terrifying way of looking at magic. So what was it? What was this big, game-changing idea? What did the Malleus argue that was so different and, frankly, so incredibly dangerous? Here it is. This is the central, terrifying thesis of the book. It's what scholars call the elaborated concept of witchcraft. See, before this, things like folk magic were usually seen as just isolated bits of superstition. But this book completely reframed it. It argued that witches weren't just individuals messing with forbidden arts. Oh no, they were members of a massive organized satanic conspiracy, a whole heretical sect, all working for the devil. And this new concept wasn't vague at all. The Malleus laid out the horrifying details. It listed 6 core beliefs about this satanic sect, that witches make a pact with the devil, they have sexual relations with demons, they fly through the air to attend these huge satanic meetings, they practice harmful magic, and they even slaughter babies. It painted this vivid picture of an enemy that was organized, totally depraved, and could be hiding anywhere. And here's the crucial part. Witchcraft was no longer just a local crime. It was elevated to a cosmic threat. The book argued that this whole conspiracy was a major front in Satan's final apocalyptic war against God, the end days. This framing created this incredible, panicked sense of urgency and, in their minds, justified taking the most extreme measures possible to fight it. So the Malleus didn't just lay out this scary theory. It then gave you detailed instructions on what to do about it. It was, for all intents and purposes, a practical, step-by-step manual for persecution. And the book is laid out very methodically, in 3 parts. Part 1 is all about using theology to prove that this grand conspiracy is absolutely real. Part 2 gets into all the lurid details of what witches supposedly do. And then Part 3, well, that's the playbook. It lays out exactly how to prosecute them. And this is so important. Part 3 was a practical guide for everybody, for church officials and for regular secular judges. It told you how to start a trial, how to question witnesses, how to use torture to get a confession, and how to pass a sentence. It was designed to be used to turn all that theory into action and to lead to extermination. So what was the real impact of all this? This is where we see the truly terrifying power of an idea to literally reshape the world people live in.
See, the true legacy here is a powerful lesson in how we perceive things. It's so important to understand that this book wasn't just describing the world as it already was. No, it did something much more powerful. It created a completely new paradigm, a new lens for people to see reality. It handed them an entirely new framework for making sense of everything happening around them.
Our source material connects this to the idea of a paradigm shift, which was famously described by the philosopher Thomas Kuhn. Basically, it's when the fundamental concepts in a field change so dramatically that people start to see the same old facts in a completely different light. It's like putting on a new pair of glasses. The Malleus provided that exact kind of shift for the concept of witchcraft. And this is the devastating result of that shift. All of a sudden, a crop failing, a sudden illness, a grudge with a neighbor. Things that used to just be seen as bad luck or maybe some simple folk magic could now be reinterpreted as evidence. Evidence of a pact with Satan, of attending a demonic assembly, of fighting in a war against God. It gave people a framework that connected all these random, unrelated dots into one terrifying picture. And that really leaves us with one final chilling question, doesn't it? The Malleus Maleficarum is this stunning example of how one powerful idea, when it's wrapped up in authority and fear, can completely change how a society sees the world. But when that new framework makes you see monsters hiding in every shadow, who is it that ultimately pays the price?